Hey guys, John Crowley here from UTV Guide out at Sand Hollow, and we're testing the Polaris RANGER 1500 XD. This is the crew cab and it's a NorthStar. So this is our third day testing, and today we decided we're gonna go ahead and see if it can handle bigger tires. So what we've got is System 3 RC 500s, and these are a 33-10-15 on System 3 beadlock wheels. So far, handles everything just fine. No rubbing that we've noticed so far. And surprisingly enough, it really hasn't affected the power that much on this thing. I think that the steel drive transmission and this really adapts well to different scenarios, and it seems to be doing just fine with these 33-inch tires. So with that, we've increased the ground clearance, which is nice for tooling around here at Sand Hollow. Let me show you a few other things on this unit. So this crew cab is actually a 6-seat. This folds up and you can actually put a person here. So 3 and 3, 6 people. This is a very heavy duty machine. I think it's 3,300 pounds dry weight. It's got a bed capacity of 1,500 pounds, and it's actually got a hydraulic dump bed on it. Towing capacity on this is 3,500 pounds. So I mentioned the hydraulic assist on the bed. It is stout. You can see right there, it's a pretty good sized ram on it. And I've seen videos where people have had this thing fully loaded and they're still able to dump it with, a full load of dirt in there. I haven't done that, but that's pretty nice. The reason I put this up so you can see the engine, this is a triple cylinder. So just under 1,500 cc. What I've kind of been told is this is a 3 cylinders of a Pro R 2000 cc engine. I don't know if that's true or not, but this is built for a different purpose than the Pro R. But 110 horsepower and 105 pound-feet of torque. And what we've seen here so far, even with these big tires, is I can get around these dunes no problem. Coming uphill, going slow, and then gassing it, there's no problem at all. Very surprising, because I've taken other crew cab utilities that are kind of loaded down and try to get up the hill here at Sand Hollow, and they get stuck unless you air down. I'm at somewhere between 8 and 10 pounds in these tires. Certainly impressive with what it can do. So as far as controls go, you've got 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, lock and unlock diff in the rear. So you can do turf mode, 1-wheel drive, or locked in the rear, unlocked in the rear, and up front you can turn that into all-wheel drive. It does not have a locker up front. All right, so 3 different drive modes on here, and they're controlled with this turn knob. The first is comfort, which is kind of weird to me. I think of comfort as in shocks, but this is a drive mode, and that's just more of a cruising mode. It's kind of a lazy throttle, and the RPMs are a little bit lower, not very aggressive. You can bump that up to standard. It gets a little bit more aggressive, and then sport is a lot more aggressive. Quicker throttle response, and it also have more aggressive engine braking. This does have a shift knob here like other Rangers, but what's different is there's drive, reverse, park. There's no low range on this. It's all just high. One other mode you can do here, and it's not the turn knob, but you push, and that'll put it in tow haul mode. And we use tow haul mode when we're doing real slow stuff. out here kind of creepy crawling up some of these rocks. This is a big, heavy unit, so no, I did not go on double Sammy with it like I do with a lot of the other vehicles. But even with no low range, so it's just high, put it in tow haul mode, so far I've gotten up anything I want, whether it's rocks or sand. Pretty impressive. So since this is a NorthStar edition, it does have HVAC. You got to push this button here to get you into AC mode. And you can also push this button to do recirculated air. So heat and cool. So far, haven't been super impressed with the cool. It's about 75 today. And it seems like, I mean, it's definitely nice, but it's not as cool as I would have expected. I don't know if there's an issue with the amount of Freon stuff in the system. I know it's not Freon, but you know what I'm talking about. Or if it's just the way it is here. I haven't talked to the dealer or anything about that. One other thing at this trim level is you do have heated seats for the front, and you control that through ride command. I haven't been able to find any buttons to turn on the heat, which I think would be nice. We should have a button for each seat to be able to turn that heated seat on, so no matter what mode you're in, it's easy to get to, and you don't have to go through ride command for that. So inside here, we do have the controls for the winch. That is factory on this trim level, and it is a 6,000 pound winch up front here, mounted real nice. This bumper's pretty stout. So a 6,000 pound winch is nice to have. It's nice to see that they added a heavier duty winch on that. So speaking of heavy duty, everything about this unit is heavy duty, from the transmission to the engine and the torque it provides and power, to the A-arms, the mounting hardware, everything. It's big and beefy. Let me show you the rear axles on this thing. They're super stout. That's a pretty big axle there. Everything about this is just big, heavy, and strong. So I know this can do all the work type stuff you want to do, with great payload capacity, the hydraulic dumping bed, the 3,500 pound towing capacity. What I wanted to know is, since this is such a comfortable vehicle with HVAC, you can haul 6 people around if you want to. How is this thing on a trail ride? What I've found so far, and pretty much just me riding in it, but the shocks, these are pretty big shocks for this size vehicle. They are a sealed shock, so not Fox or anything like that. They do well as long as you keep your speeds down a little bit. If you're in real rough terrain where, a tire is coming off the ground, or you're bouncing through whoops a little bit too fast, what I found is when these shocks, when the tire drops all the way out, and you're bottoming out that, or not bottoming out, but topping out that shock, it's a pretty loud clunk that I don't really like. But that's when you're pushing this big, heavy vehicle a little bit faster than you probably should be. I would love to see on a premium vehicle like this, a little bit higher trim level shock. Give me a 2.5 inch Fox shock that fits this. And this thing would be super capable off-road, where now it's great as long as you don't go too fast over terrain that's a little bit above its pay grade. One other thing about this NorthStar trim level and the full cab, this is much more automotive quality than any other vehicle I've seen from Polaris or any other manufacturer. It seals real well. The doors are heavier, more solid. You're not getting dust inside the cab. So when you go on a ride with a bunch of other people and it's dusty, you can follow as close as you want. No dust whatsoever were we experiencing inside the cab. Turn the AC on, turn the heat on, whatever you need to stay comfortable inside.
Nice thing
and
about
dust-free.
This vehicle,
your wife will
you've
love
got 4 windows
that
that go up and down,
going on rides
and
with
also
you
a front
because of
window
that.
that has 2 different modes, 3 different modes: closed, slightly open like this, or you can put it all the way up and ride like this. It is made to be able to drive like this, and you can get all the wind in your face that you want. One thing I forgot to mention is the noise level. With the 1500 and the steel belt transmission, this is a really quiet unit. I'm idling right now, and it's a very tolerable noise level. One thing I wanted to mention is the RPM levels are much lower, not at idle, but once you start getting going, you're gonna see, you know, it's less than 6,000 RPM all the time, even when you're going, you know, 60 miles an hour. So that helps keep the noise level down, and the sealed cab in this unit helps keep things quiet as well. you.